So you want a Russian tortoise. That's why you click the video. So there's a couple things you're going to want to think about. They're small tortoises, and they're good for indoor enclosures and stuff like that. They're good first-time tortoises, but I guess whatever you're going to do your research on is probably your best first animal. But so basic facts, Russian tortoises are going to grow about 8 to 10 inches. I have two full-grown ones with me right now that I'm going to pull up on camera in a second. You're also going to want to know if you want to keep them outside or inside. You're going to want to know what to put them on, what to feed them, because that's important. They have to eat. They're a living animal. They got to move. The temperatures and other care like that, and we're going to go over in this video just basic care guide on Russian tortoise. So Russian tortoise, this is about full grown. This is my hand compared to my face, and this is my tortoise right here. He's probably about 8 inches. They grow about 8 to 10 inches. So for temperature wise, you guys are going to want to keep them with a whatever wattage you need to be able to keep them about 75 to 85 degrees during the day, and in a basking spot about 95. And at night, you're going to want their temperature to drop down to about low 70s, high 60s. You don't necessarily need to do that, but it's good for them. And you guys can see his shell is nice and the right shape. I've had him for a couple years now. I have him and his buddy. This is Funfetti Pancake. The other one is Lightning Waffle. But these are my Russian tortoises. Okay, so another thing that you guys are going to want, well, probably the most important thing, is you're going to want to decide if you're going to keep your tortoise inside or outside. As you guys can tell by the small stature of this tortoise, he does not want to be held. From the small stature of this tortoise, they're not going to need something huge. So inside, you're going to want something about 2 foot by 4 foot. Just a small enclosure is perfect for one of these guys, for just one. You're not going to want to cohab them. I got to cut this guy's nails. That's another maintenance type of thing that you got to do. Or you can provide them rocks, which I didn't know when I first got them because I guess I didn't do enough research about their nails. So I'm going to have to cut them, but I am trying to provide them. He just peed on my desk mat. That is just great. But yeah, so you guys are going to want to figure out if you want them inside or outside. Outside, you can always provide more because there's more space outside. You're going to want to keep them on coconut fiber or grass, mostly coconut fiber. I will show you guys my enclosure. It's back there. Not the, that's a snapping turtle, but he's back there. Hold on, he's going to jump off the table. They're not the smartest either. I've had this guy jump off a couple of things. I know that's probably not the best thing to tell you guys, but yeah, you just got to keep them in mind, like if you're going to have them out or something on a high ledge, make sure they don't crawl off the ledge. But here's one substrate you guys can keep them on. It's wood chips, and I'm not really sure what it's called. I forget what it's called, but it's something you can get at pretty much any pet store or anything like that. Another substrate you can keep them on is the coconut fiber here, and you're going to want to allow them to be able to dig themselves under. They can. My guy does this in the top area right here. My thing's not going to work, but this is where they like to hang out sometimes and dig up in the corners, but this is another place with coconut substrate. This is the guy that I just had out a second ago. And yeah, so this is the type of substrate you're going to, the food you guys are going to want to feed them is just leafy greens like lettuce and stuff like that. And you can throw in like celery. You can throw in fruit sometimes. Like they tend to eat watermelon actually, which is, I guess, not common. Like you always see the videos of like that tortoise eating the strawberries and stuff. But no, these guys really like watermelon. They also really love bananas, which is something I wouldn't expect. But so you guys are going to feed them leafy greens, stuff like that. You guys can let them outside. They're probably going to eat the grass. Make sure there's no fertilizers or anything on that before you're going to let them crawl around in it. But they're probably going to eat grass, the dandelions, little flowers that are going on outside. If you guys want to, when it's spring and stuff and they're all growing outside, you guys want to pick them up, throw them in their food. Go for it. I'm sure you can buy flour mix at the store too. I've seen that. I'm trying to get these guys some cactus leaves actually because I heard tortoises really like those, and I'm willing to get them that, provide them that because it's cool. But yeah, that's the type of food you guys are gonna want. So for UVB, they are gonna need a UVB light because they're not gonna be outside. Obviously, if they're outside, they're not gonna need that UVB. But outside, they are gonna need that UVB light. Or I mean, inside they are gonna need that UVB light. You can just get a 10.0 UVB light, just most common at the store. It's a little bit pricey, but you got to do what you got to do for these animals, I guess. If you don't want to buy it, I mean, just don't have the animal, I guess. I mean, it's not, you don't have to have a tortoise, especially a Russian tortoise. You don't really need to have anything. You don't even need a dog or a cat or something like that, I don't think. But that's the type of UVB. The water maintenance, you might be able to see that guy got to come out of the top shelf over there. But a little maintenance for these guys is you're gonna want to soak them and maybe get like a toothbrush or something and just scratch them. It's like a bath. You guys know you're supposed to be showering probably once or twice every day. These guys need a shower probably once or twice every week. That's probably important. And these tortoises are just great tortoises to have because they stay so little and they give you the fun of a tortoise, and they eat and eat and eat and eat. They are grazers, I think. I'll put my plate down and they'll eat, and then they'll leave a little bit. They'll come back later. They'll eat again. These guys are just great pets to have. Great tortoises, great beginner tortoises too because of the size and stature. Also, the care isn't even crazy, but I love these guys. They're my favorite pets probably that I have here because I just am a weirdo and like turtles and tortoises so much. I've always wanted tortoises, but if you guys want to provide like enrichment for them, see that guy coming down the shelf, I have that for them. They like to climb up and down that. I used to have another little ramp in my custom built enclosure, and they would climb up and go into the second part all day, every day. So you guys can custom build enclosures too, and I just made a video for great indoor small tortoise enclosures. So if you guys want to go ahead and watch that, it's another video that might help. That's just a basic care guide on these guys for Russian tortoises because they're super cool animals, super cool tortoises that you can keep inside and that you can be your buddies for a lifetime because they live freaking forever. So that's just a quick basic guide on these animals. I hope you guys liked the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Comment any questions or anything. I'll make sure to get back to that. But thanks for watching.